Hey everyone, it's Matt with Cruises, Rooms, and Reviews. We're here on the MSC Meraviglia. We're here in room 13119, which is a balcony room. We're gonna give you a tour, an overview, get you into some of the details. There's some things I really like about this room. There's also things we didn't like so much, and we're gonna tell you all about it. Let's check it out. So as I said, we're in 13119. Just to give you an idea, we're pretty far from the forward elevators. But if you go around the corner here, you do have the panoramic elevator, which is an elevator that goes out and has a complete view of the ocean. And then if you go up this hallway, you're not very far from the aft elevators. Head on in. Here's a quick sweep of the room before we show you the entrance. First thing, your assembly station is muster station C. So as you come in from the door to your left, you will have 3 hooks here, very handy for robes, things like that. And your bathroom is on your right. You have some controls right here. So you have your HVAC controls, your do not disturb and make up room lights. I like those instead of having a magnet. This is your key card slot for the power in the room. You do need to have that in there for any power, of course. It has to be an MSC Meraviglia card. It can't work with any plain card. And then you have lighting controls for your bathroom and for the lighting in the room. You have a very narrow but useful head to ceiling mirror. A pretty large vanity area. You have a very large mirror here. Hello everybody. And then a really long shelf here. Plenty of room there, you store your knickknack. Down underneath that storage area, you have your mini bar and refrigerator, same thing. It's pretty cool, does a pretty decent job. It is a mini bar, so anything in here, unless you have the drink package, they will charge you for, but you can also store your own things in there. Have a pretty wide, large drawer here. This is where your hair dryer would be, but my wife stored all her cosmetics and things in there. Good amount of storage space. This is your chair. It's fairly heavy, so it takes a little bit of effort to pull that out. It can also be used, as I'm sitting on the sofa right here, as a coffee table if you need that. Up here in the vanity, you do have your ship phone here. This area gets a little tight because it's narrow, but this is where you have your power. You'll see here you have 2 US outlets. We've got our Anchor USB charging blocks plugged into them. And then over here, we're not using them. We do have converters if we did need to use them. 2 220 volt European outlets. There is 1 single USB Type A outlet there, and then another control for lighting. Have a little narrow shelf up here, mostly for paperwork. We see we've kind of used it for hats, in a little slot for your remote control. That's handy. And a fairly small ship television. We haven't really used it at all. 32, 37, 38, something along those lines. Over on this side, we do have the sofa. Fairly comfortable. It does the job. It's a good wide sofa, so plenty of space on it. It is not a pull-out sofa. This is not a room for more than 2 people, so you wouldn't be able to fit a family in here. This sofa is pretty worn. There's a lot of stains and such on it. I can see they've actually turned over the cushions since we've been here because it is so stained. It could use for either reupholstery or replacement, that's for sure. It's pretty beat up. So the bed is a full king size bed. It is a little stiff on the stiff side, but it is comfortable, at least for me. I like that for my back. It can be split into 2 if you need 2 separate beds. And then you have this type of end table on each side, or nightstand. You know, shelving on top, some storage cubby holes, I would say, not drawers. They don't pull out, they're just kind of cubby holes. You have lighting on the side. Interestingly, if you can see this here, the cap here that turns the light on and off for the up light, it's gone, and there's just a spring there. But if you touch the spring, it works anyway. 2 lights here, that light, and then a reading light. You also have a control for the room lighting on that side of the bed. You have a headboard here. Over on this side, it gets very narrow between the balcony and the doorway, and the curtains do hang there. You can see I'm trying to pull it away, but you do have the same type of table and storage there. There is no electrical outlets on this side of the bed, or USB outlet. All of your charging capabilities are over there, none over here. And again, same type of lighting. This one has both of the controls on it and a room light. But on to the closet. This is where things really start to fall apart for this room. And you'll see right from the get-go. See how this door, it's not on real straight? We found no way to fix this. It's really difficult. You gotta kind of push from the bottom and the top to get that door to open. So you get access to one side, just the shelving here. You do have 1, 2, 3, and 4 open shelves, and they're okay size, nothing great, fairly deep. 2 drawers here, and not very deep, as you can see from my fingers. Storage, especially for drawers, I mean, those are the only 2 drawers in this room, except for the cubby holes that you have over on the nightstand. You do have those shelves, but storage is at a premium in this room for sure. We'll see if we can it takes a bit of a shove, but that actually came over easier. You can see with storage, we've actually taken that space between the closet and the sofa and used it for our shoes. And then this one is even worse. Like, I'm really pulling and you can't move it. You gotta kind of kick at the bottom to get it open up. Bit beat up, that could use some maintenance or replacement. Here's where you have your hanging storage. It's an okay size. We've got our backpacks there. You could put your shoes in there. We've got our backpacks in there. I don't know if you can see, there is a little shelf over here. We've stored a couple bags there. Storage, not super great in these rooms. Now, just to show you how I have to kick it, I'm like literally kicking with my foot down here and pushing on top to get that door to close. You have to do that every single time. One note, your HVAC is above and the HVAC does work well in this room. All right, we're gonna head into that bathroom, and this is where things really fall awry with this room. Now, the configuration of the bathroom, that's just fine. This is the same configuration you'll find or any standard configuration room. You have your single sink, works fine, good hot water. You have a hand pump for hand soap, which I appreciate. Some storage here for toothbrushes and such. A very narrow shelf underneath. You have a cabinet for storage and a trash can. 3 shelves next to the mirror with a high shelf, which I appreciate, for medication and some more towel storage. Standard ship commode. And then where things really fall apart for this room, the shower. All looks aside, it works, it's functional. Good space, pretty decently large compared to some other showers I've seen on other ships. A foot bar, shelving for your things. It comes with shampoo and shower gel by MSC. It does not come with conditioner, so if you need conditioner, bring that on your own for sure. You have your controls, shower wand. Water pressure is fair, I would say. Not the worst I've had, but certainly far from the best. The shower is certainly functional. Here's the problem. When we walked onto the ship and we got in this room and I first opened the shower door, it smelled like an absolute sewer. No joke, it almost made me feel like I was gonna pass out a bit. It was so bad. I had to immediately close the shower door. We talked to our room steward. He came in, he cleaned. It smelled much better, not perfect, but better. And then by the next day, it smelled like a sewer again, and it was horrible. And one night they gave us access to a different room that was empty so that my wife could take a shower. That's how bad it was. They did have maintenance come and take a look at it. It's been better, but not great. So our guy will clean, it'll go away. And then I'm even getting a little bit of a whiff of it right now. It just comes back here and there and you don't know what it would be. It smells like a sewer. My mother-in-law says it smells like cat piss. You're almost afraid to take a shower. Am I gonna smell it this time or not? And how much am I gonna smell it? Pretty bad negative review on this shower, just from a smell perspective. So since we just went over a big giant negative for this room, let's do a big giant positive, which is the balcony. Little quick story though. Here is the balcony door. Here is the handle, goes up. It's a little bit of effort and opens, but it slides quite easily. You do have a safety lock here at the top. You have a nice wide view. What's interesting about this door, this is not the same door we had when we started this cruise. When we first walked onto the ship, this handle was incredibly hard to move up and down, to the point that I bashed my knuckles a couple of times trying to get it to open and close. We reported it, No one really did anything about it a couple days ago, and I'm gonna insert pictures right now of this. I came in, I tried to open this, it opened super easy. In fact, there was no resistance at all. It just flopped up and down. Also, the door just slid back and forth. It did not lock at all. There was no way to actually lock the door in place. We called, reported it. They pretty quickly came. Within a half hour, they were here, and the guy came in, looked at it, and said they had to replace the door entirely because the locking mechanism is on the inside. Whole brand new door installed in our room. That's the first time in many, many cruises that I've ever seen that level of maintenance be done on a room. I will give them, it was kind of a pain in the butt when we had the problem, but they did fix it right away. So I'll give plus to MSC Meraviglia crew for that. But back to the actual balcony, and one of the reasons we picked this room is it has an extra large balcony, even though it's still classed as a regular balcony room. And I'll just kind of give you that view. You know, it's large enough that they've got 2 loungers out here for us, and 2 regular chairs and an ottoman. Now, with all that furniture, it is a little bit difficult to get around sometimes, but I will take it. This is a nice large balcony. You do have the clear glass, so all you have is the 1 rail, and that's the only thing that impedes your view. So you do stick out a bit, as you can see here. Those balconies there are the normal width, and they start at the same depth that our balcony starts at. So that's how much deeper our balcony is than a traditional balcony. And then back towards our balcony, we've really spent a lot of time on this balcony and have really enjoyed it. So this is probably the biggest plus of this cruise, was this balcony. So what are the pros and cons of this room, room 13119 here on the MSC Meraviglia? Well, obviously the biggest pro is that balcony. It's huge compared to a standard balcony on this room. We've enjoyed the time out there. I like having the loungers and the space and the extra chairs. We've got 4 of us on this cruise, 2 in this room, 2 in another room. We've been able to enjoy our time out there. Another pro of this room is the location. I really like the location. We're not far from the aft elevators, be able to get quickly anywhere, but we're also right around the corner from that panorama elevator. We found that elevator to be very convenient. The other pro of this room is it has decent space. You can spread out in this room. You've got the nice wide couch, you got the king size bed, a decent vanity. I think all of that works quite well. But let's go into the cons of this room. Related to that space is the storage. There's not a lot of storage, especially compared to other cruise ships. Drawers at a premium, some decent shelving, but there could be a lot better storage in this room. But the big cons of this room, well, one, they did fix it quite quickly, but that balcony door was a pain in the butt for 2 or 3 days before it finally broke, and they came and fixed it. I give the crew kudos for fixing it. It is good now, but that was a pain in the butt. It's the killer for this room is the shower and the smell of that shower. Like I said, they've tried to fix it. It's made it better. It still smells here and there, and it just does not make taking a shower a nice experience. It smelled like a sewer or cat piss when we first came on the ship. It was horrible. Like, you could not take a shower in that shower in the first day of our cruise. So let's answer the question that we always answer. Would we stay in this room again? I think you can quite tell where we're going with this. Because of that shower, no way would we ever stay in this room again. Now, that doesn't mean I don't like the configuration of the room. Would I stay in this type of room somewhere else on the ship? Different floor, different location. There's a couple different spots where you find this configuration of balcony on this ship. I would absolutely try this configuration of room again, but not this specific room because of that sewer smell in the shower. That makes it an absolute no-go. I would not book 13119 here on the MSC Meraviglia. If you liked this tour and overview and found it helpful, please let us know in the comments and drop a like. Also, check out the rest of the Cruises, Rooms, and Reviews channel. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any future cruising content. This is Matt with Cruises, Rooms, and Reviews. Happy cruising, everybody.